shape shifting, how each yoga pose can change your awareness. Set yourself up on your yoga mat and start off with this first shape, which is called Samasthiti. Samasthiti in Ashtanga yoga can be translated as evenness or even balance. And what we attempt to do is bring the body into a state of alignment to where we can feel very evenly balanced front, back, right, left. And we try to land, I'll turn sideways, directly centered in a way that we can experience that there's constant movement and constant shift and constant change. Because when you stand really still, if you bring your feet together and you look down at your toes and you get your toes evened up nice and side by side, and you practice lifting your chest a little, so you're just kind of taking the curves of the spine and lengthening them a little so that you feel like you're as tall as you can be. And if you pull your shoulders back and just practice focusing and concentrating on a single point, take your eyes and place them in a single point of concentration and just hold. And what you're noticing is that there's always a little movement, either side to side, front to back, more pressure down on the toes, less pressure on the toes, more on the heels. And we will never really become completely static without any movement here. There's always going to be a little tiny bit of shifting and moving, but we can use the awareness of these small shifts as a way to become present and able to focus on the breath. And so breathe in and out of your nose. Let your mouth close and inhale and exhale, breathe through your nose so that you start to create a rhythm with the breath. The rhythm implies that you're inhaling for about the same duration as your exhalation. In Iyengar yoga is called Tadasana and referencing mountain pose. So the shape of a mountain in relation to the steadiness, the stillness, the commitment to stability over a long period of time. These are different attributes that we can bring into the shape. When you make a shape, when you hold your body in a specific shape, you can put your mind on the quality of the shape that you represent. So if you hold this pose and you relate to it as mountain pose, then you can bring your attention, you can even visualize a mountain and you can get the feeling of how consistent, how unmovable, how even though there's constant change even within the structure of the mountain, in relation to, if there's a volcano, the mountain's increasing in growth, or the island is growing, or the land mass is increasing, or if there's erosion and there's like a continuous erosion of the mountain. But nonetheless, it appears to be unmoving. It appears that there's no change, but in reality, there's still change happening. So we can use these qualities as a way to concentrate and hold our attention. Let's shape shift and move into the shape of a triangle. So in triangle pose, if you separate your feet, and let's start with the arms and reach your arms out. So we're preparing for the shape that we're about to enter. With your right foot, turn your right foot out, turn the toes out. Now we're going to go over to the right. If you bring your right hand down, you can start off really easy, putting your hand down on your knee, leaning the upper body over the leg, and with your left arm reach straight up. If you're able to bring your hand down further and further to where the knee doesn't bend, that's good. If you feel a lot of pressure in your knee, practice squeezing your quad. Modify how far down you bend once you find where your edge is, where you're able to keep your both legs relatively straight. Try to turn your head and look up towards your left hand. And we're in the shape of a triangle. If you think of three lines, one line going from the right foot to the left foot, another line going from the left foot up to the left hand, and another line going from the left hand down to the right foot, creates an overall triangle shape. An isosceles triangle has all sides equal, or actually, I'm wrong there. Let me call that an equilateral triangle. All sides are equal. And we're going to hold in the triangle shape. Now, your posture might be perfectly equal. It might not be equal. It doesn't matter. The triangle is the main shape that's represented in the pyramid, a pyramid shape, or the shape of a pyramid. And the pyramid is the most stable shape in geometry. Here in the triangle, we're only making one side of the pyramid, so not as stable, but nonetheless, we can focus on the quality of a triangle in relation to its change and go ahead and come all the way up. And we're going to shift from the right side triangle over to the left side triangle. Go ahead and bring your hand down. You can place it on your knee. If follow the same rules or protocol, what we'll try to do is create as evenly as even of a balanced right side triangle as a left side triangle as possible. In other words, let's try to attempt to achieve a relative similar level of depth. However, modify when you do right side, left side as needed. If you have an injury on one side of the body and not the other, or extra tension holding one side or the other due to all sorts of factors, different curves in the spine like scoliosis. We could go on. I could go on and on. However, what I want you to do with your right hand is just stretch straight up and try turn and look up towards your right hand and expand through the arms, the chest, the shoulders, and practice holding the shape of a triangle on the left side. You can focus on a triangle is made up of three sides. The number three is considered a magic number. And so you can bring that quality of magic into your posture. You can bring your awareness into a space of magic and or the balance of these 3 points. Okay, let's release and come all the way back up. Good. And step your feet back together. Let's try shifting back into the mountain and or the samasthiti, the evenness, the even standing, tall standing. Now let's take the shape of a child, child's pose. Child's pose, come down on your knees, point your feet, bring your hands down, bring your elbows down, test the bend of your knees. If you're able to do a full knee flexion, go ahead and go for it. If you need to stay up on your elbows, I want you to toy with and play with the shape of your knees in relation to how far they can bend. And as you fold forward, bring your head down toward the mat. And here, Balasana, child's pose. I'm just going to hold my head up so you'll be able to hear me. However, while you're practicing, go ahead and let your head come down. So when you take the shape of child's pose, you can bring the mind into the awareness of like, what is it like to be a child? Maybe you are a child practicing right now and you're already in that state. Maybe as an adult, uh, remembering what it's like to be a child can have a powerful effect on shifting our awareness from that responsibility mode that we have to hold on to all the time as an adult when we're taking care of others, and just kind of relax back again into that space of where we're being taken care of. And so child's pose can have a profound effect on shifting our awareness from protection mode to being protected mode. Also, qualities of a child. Often there can be a lot of joy. There can be a lot of curiosity. Exploring the world from the angle of wanting to learn more and find out our place in the world. And so by using the name of the pose, child's pose, the shape of the pose, in this sense, the relaxation of just letting the body be protected over the legs, allowing the back side of the body to just relax and release. As you breathe in through your nose, feel the expansion of the back of your spine. As you breathe out of your nose, feel your body rest down onto your thighs. Cultivate a sense of wonder and awe at your observation of the universe. As you utilize your senses to be able to taste, touch, see, smell, hear, as you take in the world, return to that childlike state of wonder as if everything you're doing is something new. Everything you're experiencing is like the first time you're experiencing it. And you're able to allow your nervous system to experience it for the first time. And so, just for this short little while here, we're in this shape. Allow your awareness to shift into the shape that you represent. Let's go ahead and come up and practice a cat pose. So, in cat pose, place your hands on the floor and grip the floor with your fingers as if you had cat claws. Put some pressure against your hands to help strengthen your hands. And in cat pose, this one is very effective for stretching your back. And if you lean against your hands, you push down, you broaden your shoulder blades wide across your back, you draw your belly in, you stretch your back, you tuck your tailbone between your legs, and just hold for a moment while you breathe. And a lot of times, if you think of a cat and you think of like a Halloween or a scary cat, they show it with the cat with the back arched and maybe the hair up on all ends. But we're not trying to come into a scared position. We're more focused on just the quality of the cat, which has 9 lives. So you can think of the fact that, think of all the times that you barely made it, and here you are still. You've survived a lot of challenge, you've overcome a lot of challenge, and you're still here to observe and experience the world. So you can put the qualities that you see and feel that are inherent in cat energy, and you can bring that into your yoga practice, and you can hold the shape and really embody the qualities that you appreciate about cat. Good. And then we'll turn it into the dog. So we have downward facing dog. Now, so those of you that want to do something a little gentler or different, you can utilize the puppy dog, the small dog. You can curl your toes under, you can bring your hips towards your heels, and you can bring your forehead down toward the ground. And if you like to even bend your elbows, you can put your elbows on the floor and stretch into your shoulders. If you want to go into the classic downward facing dog, place your hands on the floor. Toes are curled under, push into your hands, raise your hips, and we've just shifted. We shape shifted. And you might have heard of the concept of shape shifting, and that often involves in the world of magic this idea that one could shift from being in a human shape, you could shift over into a cat, you could shift over into a bird. And so there's this idea, this concept of being able to shift the form that we're in. Now, whether or not that's actually possible or not, I'll leave that up to you to determine. However, when we just practice yoga, that's kind of this is what we're doing. We're just shape shifting. We're going from one shape to another, and we're utilizing each shape as a way to explore our physics and metaphysics, our physical body, so physical matter reality, Prakriti. In the Yoga Sutras, we read about Prakriti, the nature, the earth, the 5 elements, Prakriti, the physical manifestation of the universe. And then we have Purusha, or soul. And so when we practice yoga posturing, we can utilize the Prakriti, the physical manifestation of the human body, and the fact that you have consciousness in the body. And here in the downward facing dog, if you have a dog and you go to walk the dog first thing in the morning, a lot of times your dog will just go right into down dog and stretch. So it's just a very natural position that dogs go into. So yogis were watching animalia and the wildlife and nature, and shape shifting to shift our awareness and consciousness into different modes of being. And so that's why a lot of the postures are either named after shapes, animals, people, or we have different characteristics of poses like geometry, like triangle, dog, like an animal. We can focus on saints and sages, where certain poses are named after characters in different texts in India.
coming stemming from different spiritual texts and or texts that outline morality, different ways of focusing on morality with through mythology. And here in the down dog, we'll come down and turn it into a monkey. So in monkey pose, what we'll do is come down on our knees and bring our right foot forward. And first, to prepare for monkey Anjanasana, we're going to lunge forward into the bend of the right knee. And as you bend into the right knee, let your left leg stay down, knee on the floor, and just stretch into your thigh and quad. Another way to approach the monkey pose is to come up and balance on the right knee and the right foot and the left knee, and raise your arms above your head. And in a variation of Anjanasana, what we can do is lunge forward in the bend of the right knee, and at the same time reach back through the arms, creating a back bend while in the crescent lunge. And monkeys are very mischievous. And one of the most famous monkeys in the mythology of India is Hanuman. And Hanuman is represented in a story called the Ramayana. And Hanuman is known for making the biggest leap of faith ever known, where Hanuman launched himself, jumped all the way from India to Sri Lanka to rescue Sita from the demon king Ravana. I highly recommend reading the Ramayana, and as you practice yoga, you can start to bring more depth into your practice. So it can transition from holding shapes that we're thinking I'm just here just for physical therapy and for mastery of the physical body, which is a wonderful reason to practice yoga. But it can also shift into a more spiritual dynamic, and or we can bring our awareness and attention to understanding and recognizing our purpose, often called dharma in the hatha yoga and the yoga lineages. All right, so now we're going to release and bring our arms down, and we'll take our right leg back, and you come onto your hands and your knees. And as a transition before the right side monkey and the left side monkey, let's shape shift into an upward facing dog. And just keep your arms nice and strong. Allow your hips to drop down. Raise your chin and your chest up and pull your shoulders back. If you'd like to go a little deeper with it, you can straighten out your legs and have your knees float off the floor. And you just kind of work the drawing down of your shoulder blades and scapulas, creating Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And then we'll transition back into the Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. Push into your hands, press into your feet, and try to press your heels down toward the floor. And once again, work into the down dog shape. Now we're going to shape shift into the left leg monkey. So if you come down on your knees, take your left foot forward and start to prepare through the bend of your left knee and the lunge into the right side hip to open up the front of your right hip. And just kind of slowly ease pressure in. The whole time you're practicing, you're aware of your breath. You're breathing in and out of the nose. Bring that sort of awareness to the concentration of your breath. And utilize your ability to concentrate, the ability to breathe. Marry these two together so that the breath and concentration, the breath and the awareness is one. And as you hold in the pose and you move deeper and deeper into the musculature of your body, continue to stay focused in the realm of breath awareness and body awareness. And as we shift into the monkey, bring the body weight back onto your right knee and your left foot and raise your arms up above your head. And how deep you go is not really the goal. That's not, I mean, it's fun to experience really deep yoga asana. But in my opinion, as we continue yoga practice, we're really, I think, shifting focus toward longevity and health over a long period of time. So the depth of the pose can reflect very accurately where we are in our stage of life. Childhood, householder mode, adulthood, and retirement mode. And so wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, allow your physical representations, the shapes that you shift into, to represent the state that you're in. so that the yoga practice very quickly shifts its whole orientation from one shape to another, and your intention and awareness can shift from one state to another and utilize the posture, the challenge of the posture, the tapas, the heat that begins to build as you hold the pose, and harness that energy and just kind of observe, feel, and try to maintain that steady breath awareness as you hold. And we'll release. Slowly bring your arms down and take your hands to the floor and take your left leg back. And then just go ahead and go to a child's pose again. So right away, you shift from a monkey to a child. Go ahead and bring your head down toward the ground and allow a nice deep stretch on the back side of your body. And then from child pose, let's go to hero pose. Hero pose, virasana. Actually, let me switch first and start off with Vajra. Vajrasana is where we have our heels right where the sciatic nerve passes. So if you're able to sit with full flexion on your knees, if you're not able to sit like this, don't move. If you're comfortable here, don't move. Stay where you are. If you're very uncomfortable in that position, your knees are really painful, I'd prefer to have you take something that's not so painful and just lie down on your back and pull your knees into your body. For those of you that are able to sit with your hips onto your heels, then in Vajra, in the Thunderbolt pose, allow your hips to just sit with pressure right on the heels. Now, Virasana, if you have enough knee flexibility to separate your heels and sit down in between the heels, or if you'd like to put a block underneath your hips, then you can definitely use either of these options. So either lie on your back, sit with your hips on your heels, or sit like this with your hips between your heels. And now we're just going to concentrate while holding. And this applies deep pressure into the knees. So you can right away understand and feel the therapeutic benefit of applying pressure into stretching the joints. If that is not clear to you because it is so painful, that's how you know you're going too far. If you have the ability to come into a shape and hold it stable enough that you can bring your awareness into a state of oneness or concentration, you can put your eyes, you take your eyes and you hold your eyes at a single place without moving them around. You hold your body in a place of stillness and then just bring your awareness and attention to your breath. In here in Virasana, hero pose, you can think about what it's like to be a hero. Are you your own hero? Are you a hero to your friends and family? What does it take to be a hero? What are the qualities of a hero? Is there a certain level of warrior culture that needs to be in place to be heroic? To stand up for your friends and your family, to stand up for what you believe in. In the Bhagavad Gita, we see the storyline between Arjuna and Krishna, where Arjuna is faced with a really serious challenge. He has to go to battle with his loved ones, and it's a serious struggle to realize who to stay true to and what to stay true to. But this is one of the essence elements of yoga, is to harness our concentration awareness to being open, putting nonviolence at the forefront, but also recognizing when it's time to take a stand and when it's time to be a hero and to stand up for what we believe in. And so these are all qualities that you can bring into your yoga practice. You can take the concentration that you develop in your yoga practice and bring it and apply it in your day-to-day activities as you go out onto the battlefield, like the Bhagavad Gita talks about. All right, so let's go ahead and release. Go ahead and lean on your hands, lift your hips. Go ahead and swivel your legs around and come to a pose that's called Sukha. Now, Sukha is a quality. Sukha means ease. It's the opposite of dukkha, which is suffering. So we have geometric shape, we have animalia, and here we have quality. And so in Sukhasana, we're going to create easy pose. And what I'd like for you to do is that then let's let it turn into what's called bound angle. So I'm sorry, not bound angle. We'll turn into yoga mudra. Yoga mudra is where we attempt to bring our foreheads down onto the floor. That might be a long way for you to go right now. You might be in a state of challenge by trying to sit. What you can always do is put a prop underneath your hips if you have the ability to sit comfortably. So now when we come into a pose called Sukhasana, easy pose, is it easy? What can I do to bring the quality of ease into my body? What can I do to bring the quality of ease into my awareness?
If I am recognizing that I am not in an easeful state, what can I do to become more at ease? Well, if you need to sit up a little bit higher, not put so much pressure, if you need to lean back on your hands, if you have a really difficult time sitting like this, you can always scoot back and find a wall, and you can put your back up against the wall to find ease. So we can practice ease pose. If you have a hard time with sitting cross legs due to a knee or hip injury, you can just practice with your legs out in front and try to find a quality of ease while sitting here. To what level or degree are you able to shape shift your body to find a state of ease when practicing easeful pose? So that way we shift the awareness from I'm attempting to make my body look like the other person that I'm practicing with in the room or on the book or on the poster, whatever it is we're looking at on the phone, and shifting awareness and attention into how do I actually feel? What is the name of the pose? And how can I direct that intention of the name of the pose into the way that I practice the pose? What sort of realizations are you having? What sort of ideas and exploration are you able to take when you hold in the pose? This way, it is possible to find incredible depth in the yoga posture practice. And the use of the hatha yoga, the yoga of force, the study of force, or sometimes called sun moon, because we study the relationship of the physical universe. And we have an opportunity to study what is our place in the physical universe. And so as you shape shift and you move from one shape to the other, just slowly bring your awareness and attention into where you are now, here now, focus steady, breathe through your nose, maintain a nice deep level of awareness. And as we release this pose, we're going to shape shift into one called dead body pose or corpse pose known as Shavasana. So, yes, we're going to actually imagine and utilize awareness of death as a way to improve our life. So, the idea with Shavasana or corpse pose is that when you lie down and you shift into this shape, you can recognize I am not dead. I am alive. I'm going to take the same pose my body might take at the time of death, but I'm going to still be aware of the fact that I'm still alive. And through the process of recognizing I am still alive and death has not knocked on my door today, that then I can come into a state of gratitude and acceptance and awareness of the precious quality of life. There's so much awareness in yoga around the fact that by taking human incarnation and being born into a human body, that we've won the lottery. We've won the most incredible lottery opportunity ever known. And to be alive and be born in a human body is the opportunity for incredible growth and transformation. And so I hope that this practice today helps you to shift your awareness, to shape shift your body and shift your awareness into understanding that yoga can be as deep as you need, and you can get everything you need and want out of the experience of living. All right. Namaste. And I hope you have a great day. Until next time, meet me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. And I wish you a good one. Namaste.